All right, Evil Dead fans. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the first bone. Now, some people would say, well, why aren't you starting at the top? Well, there's a good reason for that. This part is very complicated. And if you get the thickness wrong here, the rest of it's going to be janky. So, the thing is, what I plan on doing is putting this bone down first with some milliput. And then I will know my spacing with the other bones all the way around. And once I have that down, I'll know exactly the thickness up here. So I'm going to work my way all the way around and be aware of where that center bone is back here for distance. So I need to be aware of that. Okay, we got the first bone on here. Now let me go over a few things of why I picked this bone, especially in the placement. Now, if you look at the scene where they find it in the Castle of Kandar, the way it's laying, you will see that bend in that bone right there. So, as you can see, I've done a lot of work. I kind of took out a lot of the step-by-step of putting each bone in, and I'm going to just summarize everything up for you and what each bone is. Last time we just had this bone on. Now, the thing is, when you pick this bone out, that is a leg bone from a chicken or a drumstick, you want to make sure you got that curve in there. These two are from wings. This gap is correct. You want a little bit of a gap in there. If you look at the one where it's like the molded one that Tom has now, Tom Sullivan, the guy who created this, has now, you know, they're kind of squished together in comparison to what the originals were, because there was more than one dagger in Evil Dead 2. I'm not sure how many. I know there was at least two. And I'll tell you some of the differences in what these bones are. So you got a wing bone here, another wing bone here, and this knuckle for this one's here, and this one's here. It's reversed. So you can see right there how it's bigger here, it's bigger there, smaller here. And you want this one nice and tight. This one you're gonna have a little undercut, as you can see. Now this bone and this bone here, these are from the kit. Now if you have the Visible Man kit, these two will have a smaller, skinnier bone connected to the side of it. You're gonna have to cut those off, but be careful. You might have to use them later. I'm unsure, but just be careful. And these are the entire pieces put together and then cut. So you want both sides put together. For this one, this is another, I think it's another smaller wing bone. Now, when you put that on there, you need to be aware there's a few different looks that they had. When Annie's picking it up, you'll see it that's broken here and set in this place. When they fight in the Castle of Kandar, it's actually set out just a little bit further to the right here and this length. And when Annie's holding it up and, you know, going around the cabin at a certain time, this bone is this length, pushed out a little bit to the right, and it's up. So you got to kind of pick and choose what you want to do for that look. So I decided to kind of mix the three together, where it's that length, but it's flatter and it's tucked back like when Annie picks it up. So this is a real chicken bone, and you do have to cut the end off of it regardless. The big bulky ends, like you'll have, say that, you'll have to hack that off. Now we come over here. These are actually kit bones. And since if you have the kit, they come sliced in half and you have to put the two sides together. You only want to use one side. See, this is a singular side. This is a singular side. So you want to look for the one like this. And I still have to do some touch-ups and repaints and stuff, so that's not big. See, this is going to be on the opposite side of the body. See how this end comes out? The other one kind of comes back in. See if I can get a good view for you. Right there. See how it comes back in? And it sets right in there with this bone. Kind of is curved down a little bit, kind of turned. So you want to use the half. If you can see right there, you can kind of see it's a half. So like I said, this one, it's going to go over here somewhere like that. And then after that, you use another kit bone. Oh, this is for the other side. This will actually go over here somewhere. but you'll see how it's in half. Now this one I have to cut because this one is cut, and it actually sits back like this and comes to a point, and I'll show that on the next video. And then you got this one, it's gonna be over here somewhere. So, but I'll show you real quick how they are halved. Now you can see the placement of this foot here, and it's got some of the brownish and reds. The color I'm using for all the gobbledygook and stuff, all the grit, is actually a color called Pavement. It's an acrylic paint. You can find it anywhere. I'm not a big apple barrel fan, but what I used is apple barrel. It's easy to spread, and I'm going to seal it up later anyway. So it's easy to spread, easy to water down if you need to. So I'm using Pavement and burnt sienna to get the different aspects of it instead of everything just being black in there. And this is all milliput. All that stuff is, and that's how it's being held in. You can see the yellow right here from the milliput. But you can see how that foot is placed. Another thing over here with this foot, the reason why it's straight down is one scene when Annie's holding it, you can see it going straight down. Other times you will see this foot, and from screen grabs, you will see it go angle this direction. So if you do either one, you're correct. You got a little bit of play in there to figure out what you want to do. So it does leave a little bit of a bigger gap right here. So you can bring that back a bit if you want to, or bring it straight down. Now let's look at the face. As you can see, I did accentuate the face a little bit, the jawbones, eyebrows. Did that with the milliput as well. And with that piece right here, I thought I might have to cut off. I just shaved it down, where it's straight, added milliput in to get that really nice, perfect look. Because I knew it wasn't completely gone because it'd be way back here. Excuse me. And did it on both sides. So the next step I'm going to do is bring those bones out here and bring some out here. Like I said, I'm going to meet in the middle, because one thing I'm going to show you right now is with all those bones, you can see there's not enough room. Now, the nice thing about the Evil Dead 2 dagger, it doesn't look wide, because by the time you get there, the bones on there, it's going to be like this, so it won't be looking super wide. But it is kind of deep. So I'm going to have to, when I set these new bones, I'm going to bring them out just a little bit and make it thicker throughout here, so it would be a little bit deeper like it's supposed to be. You got to remember, we're not making things for this necessarily. We're basically buying stuff and putting it on there. You know, you're finding chicken bones that are as close as possible to length and width, and while at the same time using a kit that was originally used. And the nice thing about having the kit, you can gauge the size of bone with the kit bones, because the kit bones don't change sizes. Your chicken pieces will be different sizes, so it's a good way to find out if you have the right sizes to gauge it against the other fake bones. But you can see right here, you can see how it's kind of coming out a bit. I'm kind of thickening it up to bring it around a little farther back. But that's where we're at right now. And just to go over the bones real quick again, you have a real drumstick bone, wing bone, those are real, wing bone, kit bone, both pieces put completely together, kit bone, kit bone, kit bone, kit bone. And these ones are in half. These two are in half right here. And the new ones I'm putting over here will be in halves too, and over here, and we'll cover that a little bit more on the next video. And there was one last thing I was going to talk about before I let you guys go. I think it was, I don't really remember, to be honest with you. But yeah, I still have some paint touch-ups to do, things like that when it's finally done. One thing that sucks about this stuff, if you don't let it cure all the way, you put a new coat on, it'll crack, but it's fine. Milliput doesn't crack. So when it sets, it shrinks just a touch. You can see right there that repaint. See if I get it focused in. That yellow, that's as much as it really just shrinks down. It doesn't shrink down much at all. But I really like how it's coming out, how it's working out. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video. Until next time, you guys, stay groovy.